Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello everybody, a very good day to all of you. Today's topic is reading comprehension, and we are going to learn about the reading strategies. Let us see what are these strategies. There are 10 reading strategies. Already you know that communication skills has four different skills: listening, speaking, reading and writing. Reading and writing go together, and speaking and listening go together. Communication is always two-way communication. Without the sender and the receiver, as you all know, communication is not possible. When the person is reading, of course, the written material, okay. When the person is listening, he is listening to the speaker. So here we are going to learn about how to comprehend, how to understand the written text. What are the tips and the methods to go about it? Unaware and unknowingly, we are going into this process while reading. But here, we are to analyze it and be more aware and careful when we read any text any next time. We can improve upon our comprehension. Now, you can see here that thinking is also connected to reading. Language, thinking and reading are interconnected. Reading involves cracking the alphabetic code to determine the words and then thinking about those words to construct meaning. Strategic readers address their thinking in an inner conversation that helps them make sense of what they read. When we read, of course, there is the cognition of the symbols, letters or words in the language. At the same time, the thinking process also starts. It is a parallel phenomenon that takes place when we read. So, reading is thinking too. Reading is thinking, as I said. The purpose of reading is understanding. How to go for 100% understanding, and that too in the minimum possible time. That should be the objective of the reader. Hence, various strategies and techniques are to be applied to master the skill. You know about two major techniques of reading. Skimming and scanning are such techniques where we apply these techniques to get the main idea and the specific details as fast as possible. As we have seen earlier, reading is thinking. Now, we can say that reading and thinking go hand in hand, and reading with strategies is nothing but strategic thinking. Reading strategies focus on language development and thinking aspects of reading. So here we are going a step ahead and calling reading comprehension or the understanding of what we read as strategic thinking. Now, about the strategic thinking further, what do we do in such type of process? We go beyond the superficial understanding of the text. What is here stated? True comprehension goes beyond literal understanding and involves the reader's interaction with the text. If students are to become thoughtful, insightful readers, they must extend their thinking beyond a superficial understanding of the text. So, interact with the text. Let us see what are the various aspects and ways to interact with the text. Stephanie Harvey and Anne Godwis, authors of Strategies That Work, that's the title of their book, Strategies That Work. They state that getting readers to think when they read, to develop an awareness of their thinking, and to use strategies that help them comprehend are the primary goals of comprehension instruction. I unquote. This means moving beyond answering questions at the end of the story. So here, what is the gist of this? That we must interact with the text. Just the superficial reading of the text or understanding of the text is not sufficient. We must go beyond that. Now, why teach reading strategies? Why it is the job of a teacher to make the pupil understand, and how the teacher has to go about it. I think if the teacher takes into account the strategies that we are going to follow, we are going to learn today, will be very helpful. Once thought of as the natural result of decoding plus oral language, comprehension is now viewed as a much more complex process involving knowledge, experience, thinking, and teaching. So it is a more complex process than what we imagine, because many aspects are involved. It is the teacher who is also equally involved in making the pupil comprehend properly. It is not as simple a process as it looks. It is a complex process involving knowledge not only of the writers but also of the readers. He relates his past experiences with the text he is reading. Of course, the thinking process goes simultaneously. Teachers' help is often required for the young students who attempt to comprehend. Hence, other more expert and experienced readers can help. So, here, to solve or to deal with the complexity of the process, the pupils or the beginners need some help, especially from the teachers or other expert readers. Now, what strategies should be taught? Researchers identified strategies that proficient readers use to construct meaning from text. Now, here is the reference I have taken. These are the names of the researchers: Pearson, Keene, Harvey, Godwis, Robb, and others summarized these strategies. Now, I have taken this as a major reference here in my presentation. That is, Elkhart Community School's top 10 reading strategies are based on the work of the above researchers. Now, these are the top 10 reading strategies. Just go through them. Let us read. First, connect to the text. Second, ask questions. Third, expand vocabulary. 4, predict and prove. 5, sense it. 6, decide what's important. 7, make inferences, then draw conclusions. 8, summarize and synthesize. 9, check your understanding. And 10, build fluency. So, these are the 10 strategies we are going to learn about. So, let us now learn about each of them one by one. The first is connect to the text. Making connections. The title is, or the name of the strategy is connecting to the text, which is a bridge from the new to the known. The text to self, the text to text, and the text to the world. Now, whatever text the reader is reading can be connected to three different destinations. The text can be connected to the reader's self. The text can be connected to the other text which the reader might have read, and the text can be connected to the wider world. So, here there can be three connections to the text. According to Harvey and Godwis, readers pay more attention when they relate to the text. Readers naturally bring their prior knowledge and experience to reading, but comprehend better than when they think about the connections they make between the text, their lives, and the world. So, the comprehension or the understanding becomes better if there is the interconnection between the text and the self and the world around. Now, let us see what is the next one. The second strategy is ask questions. Asking the question is the strategy that propels the readers forward. Questioning is the strategy that keeps readers engaged. When readers ask questions, they clarify understanding and forge ahead to make meaning. Asking questions is at the heart of the thoughtful reading. One way to address this concern would be to share the questions the teacher has about what is being read and to talk about what he or she wonders while reading. So, asking questions is a very basic thing which is required, and it is at the heart of the thoughtful reading. As you think, as you read, you think, and certain questions come to your mind. Of course, they are to be expressed if the teacher is there, right? Or if the teacher can put some questions before the pupils to think, that make them think further, and increase their understanding. Now let us see what is the next one. The third is expand vocabulary. The larger the reader's vocabulary, either oral or print, the easier it is to make sense of the text. This is but natural. The more words you know, the easier it is for you to understand. The National Reading Panel goes on to say, vocabulary is important because beginner readers use their oral vocabulary to make sense of words they see in print. Readers must know what most of the words mean before they can understand what they are reading. So, of course, I would like to say that certain level of vocabulary is required. It is needed to understand properly, and if the reader lacks in the vocabulary, the reader can take help of the glossary or even the teacher. Now, the next one is strategy number 4, predict and prove. In bracket, guess and check. Predict, to guess, to assume. And as you go on reading, the reader continues guessing or predicting about what will come next or what will follow. And of course, he or she goes on checking whether his guessing is right or not, whether his prediction is right or not. So, he is checking at the same time, he is proving himself at the same time. This parallel process continues. So, research suggests that when students make predictions, their understanding increases and they are more interested in the reading material. Now, according to Chris Tovani, author of I read it, but I don't get it. That's the title of his book. Good readers anticipate what's coming next. When readers predict, they are aware when meaning is breaking down. When an event doesn't match a prediction, good readers rethink and revise their thinking. Yes, there is also this possibility that always the things don't happen, or the reading text doesn't reveal as you have predicted or as you have guessed. So sometimes you feel that the meaning is breaking down, and the alert reader, or maybe the good reader, you can say, is revising his thinking, and again there is a reprediction. So revising and thinking and rethinking, this process takes place. Now, strategy number 5, the next strategy is sense it. Visualizing. Sensing means here you are feeling sensitive towards the text. The reader should be sensitive towards the text that he is reading. And just as the thinking process goes parallelly, visualization is also a process that takes place parallelly in his mind. And this visualization is a tool to enhance his understanding. Visualizing is a comprehension strategy that enables readers to make the words on a page real and concrete. So, of course, visualizing involves imagination. As the reader goes on reading, he imagines what is described in the text, and that helps him in understanding better. Active readers create visual images in their minds based on the words they read in the text. The pictures they create enhance their understanding. Teachers sometimes explain this as creating a movie of the text in your head. So you are as if you are watching a movie. When you visualize, a series of pictures take place, series of scenes, imaginary scenes take place in your mind. So the teacher, when teaches the student, tells him to create a movie in the mind, in the head. When students create scenarios and pictures in their minds while reading, their level of engagement or involvement increases, and their attention doesn't wander. For young children, such kind of visualization is very helpful, because that enlivens their understanding, or their imagination. Their engagement becomes deeper, they are more involved, and their attention is also focused. So they can concentrate better if the children are made to learn to visualize at the same time. Now the next is strategy number 6. Decide what's important. Thoughtful readers grasp essential ideas and important information when reading. Readers must differentiate between less important ideas and key ideas that are central to the meaning of the text. This is a very, very important strategy. I would say this is the most important strategy, and that too takes place in the mind of the readers unaware. Unknowingly, this thing also happens. This thing also takes place. But if it is done aware, it is much more useful. What is it that the reader is supposed to do here? Decide what's important. So the major concern of the reader should be that he should try to find out what is the most important thing that the writer wants to say. In other words, what is the main idea or the main topic of what he is or she is reading. So, decide what's important. Determining important ideas and information in text is central to making sense of reading and moving toward insight. Teachers need to support readers in their efforts to sift and sort essential information depending on their purpose for reading. So of course this is a kind of sifting process. You are finding out the main idea from the written material or from the text or passage which is provided to you, and when you are picking up the main idea, automatically you are discarding something or rejecting something or putting the other information at the subordinate position. So you are finding out what is more important. It is a sifting process, and you can say it's a kind of skimming process. You are looking for the specific information which is more important. So now we come to the next strategy, number 7. Make inferences, then draw conclusions. Inference means again guessing or assumptions. Already we have learnt about the strategy of guess and check, right? So predict. Inference means prediction. Of course, we have learnt earlier that this also takes place. It's a part of this complex process of understanding. Inferring is at the intersection of taking what is known, garnering clues from the text, and thinking ahead to make a judgment, discern a theme, or speculate about what is to come. It is of course the nearer to the process of prediction. It is the again intersection sectional process, I would like to say, between what the reader already knows, what already he has experienced, and getting clues from the text. He is thinking ahead. The thinking process, as we have seen in the very beginning, that reading is thinking, and these are the various processes that take place when you are thinking, right? You are imagining, you are guessing, you are assuming and inferring, right, and coming to a judgment. You are coming to some conclusion, right? And of course that when you are coming to the conclusion, it helps you in drawing towards the final stage of your comprehension. So now inferential thinking, okay, which is very important. The predictions are very important. The reader might be wrong in the predictions, then he has to stop again, rethink, revise, right, and then go ahead. So I would like to repeat this strategy, which is equally important to the previous strategies of finding the main idea, the important idea. Make inferences, then draw conclusions. Now this inferential thinking occurs when text clues merge with the reader's prior knowledge and questions to point toward a conclusion about an underlying theme or idea in the text. If readers don't infer, they will not grasp the deeper essence of text they read. So each strategy is very significant. You can say it is inevitable in the process, or as if we are analyzing the process and finding out different steps, different levels of the process. Okay, so the inferencing or this inferential thinking is very helpful in grasping the inner theme or the deeper essence of the text you are reading. The next is strategy number 8, summarizing and synthesizing. After thorough understanding, summarize mentally by finding out the main idea and the other supporting details or ideas, and then synthesize. So this is the next process in line. How the thought which you have come to a conclusion, how it evolves, how it develops, the evolution of thought, and after coming to that conclusion, you have the further process is that of synthesizing. Now whatever ideas you have got, you are putting them together, because now we are drawing towards the end, towards the conclusion. You have to come to a conclusion, right? So synthesizing is putting together separate parts into a new whole, a process akin to working a jigsaw puzzle. So synthesizing is like a process of the jigsaw puzzle, where different parts are put together and you get the coherent, full, whole picture, right? So to get the complete idea, you have to put the parts together which you have collected from your reading, from the entire process of your comprehension. Okay, so now let us go ahead, but before that let me just put stress on this process of synthesizing, because it involves combining new information with existing knowledge to form an original idea or interpretation. So reviewing, sorting and sifting important information can lead to new insights that change the way readers link. The next in line is strategy number 9, check your understanding. Now this is also very much required, because as I mentioned earlier, some readers feel that they are mistaken somewhere, or somewhere then the meaning is breaking down, or they are not able to get the strings properly. Then they have to see, the aware reader would stop and rethink, but those who are not aware, they go on and on, right? So here what is mentioned: if confusion disrupts meaning, readers need to stop and clarify their understanding. Readers may use a variety of strategies to fix up comprehension when meaning goes awry. When you find that the meaning you are not catching, then it is the reader's job to use a variety of techniques to fix up the meaning. Anyhow, maybe if they are lacking in the vocabulary, they are finding some difficult words in it, let us first find out the meanings of those words and then go ahead, or maybe take help of any references, any expert reader, any expert person, if you are not able to understand yourselves. Okay, so I would repeat strategy number 9, check your understanding. Many students don't know that they don't know. They lack the awareness of how they think when they read. So because we are not aware about our own process of thinking, this thing happens. Others are aware that meaning is breaking down, but they don't know. Some students, though they know about this thinking process, but they are aware that something is going wrong, but they don't know what to do about it. Teachers need to point out to their students that even they lose focus or space out while reading, and need to use fix-up strategies to repair their understanding. Okay, so now we are going towards the closing of the last strategy. The last strategy number 10, build fluency. Now you might wonder, this is not about the spoken communication we are learning. We are here learning about reading and writing, so it's a part of the written communication skill. So where does this aspect of fluency come in? But yes, fluency is important because it frees students to understand what they read. So actually here we are talking about loud reading. When the reader is a fluent reader, if the reader can read aloud fluently, then that helps. Fluent readers are able to read orally with speed, accuracy and proper expression. Fluency is one of several critical factors necessary for reading comprehension. So if you are mental reading, it seems that your mental reading doesn't help much. Sometimes it happens that when you are reading mentally, your attention gets distracted, you are not able to focus, or maybe somewhere something is wrong. Such readers can try reading aloud, and that type of fluent reading would definitely help, right? The reader can be more focused, and the comprehension process can become faster. So now I would like to say about all these strategies in general. So, what is it? There is a caution. No, there is a warning. What is it? Let us see. Although these strategies tend to be introduced independently, readers rarely use these in isolation when reading. These thoughts interact and intersect to help readers make meaning and often occur simultaneously during reading. I'll just explain these. These strategies tend to be, we have learnt about these strategies one by one, but remember, these strategies work together. They function together right from the moment you have started reading. So the entire process takes place right from the beginning till the end of your comprehension. So it's not that one by one we apply these strategies or these strategies take place, but they take place at a time. One strategy or the other strategy is never used in isolation to the other. While reading, we apply all of them together, so that these thoughts interact and intersect to help readers make meaning. And of course, as I told you, again I repeat that yes, you might have at one point of time maybe one strategy is working and the other point of time the other one, but ultimately it's a simultaneous process that takes place, and of course after that the comprehension is complete. So all these 10 strategies which are to be learned and groomed for better and speedy reading comprehension need to be applied. Each is like a piece of jigsaw puzzle. This word I am repeating because that process of synthesizing which almost takes place at the very end when you are drawing to the conclusion. So the entire process is like a jigsaw puzzle. When you have started reading in the beginning, one or the other strategies start functioning, but when you are coming at the end of your passage, at the end of your reading, whatever you have read, whatever impressions you have gathered, whatever understanding, you are putting them all together, and ultimately you come to one conclusion, right? You have found out the main idea. You have also discerned what are the other supporting details, what are the examples, what are the writer's objectives after that passage or that reading text. So I would like to come to a closing. The synthesis of all will lead to the integrated comprehension, and the spark, the last one, the spark of knowledge, right? The spark of the light of the understanding will take place. So reading is thinking. It's the complex process that takes place in our mind. Apparently, when somebody is reading, you think it's such a simple process. It's not. We have here analyzed what goes inside our minds when we read, when the readers read. It's not an easy process or that we can describe in very simple words. It is a complex process, and one must know, one must be aware of these strategies, analyze one's own process, what takes place, and once you are aware, I think it's easier for you to understand and comprehend better and in a faster way, because to understand in just one go or in just one reading is equally important. It is not required that you read how fast you read, whether you are a slow reader or whether you are a rapid reader, a quick reader, that doesn't matter, but how focused you are, how your mind functions, that is more important. So maybe you are comfortable at slow reading, somebody might be comfortable at fast reading, and then somebody might be comfortable at loud reading and they can understand faster and better. So it is a personal thing, it is a personal matter, but I think I have noticed generally, if the passage is a little bit complex or difficult to understand, then you have to go through once, with a normal pace of reading, and then if you find it difficult, you can have another second quick reading, rapid reading. I think that would make it more comprehensible. Okay, so here we are friends with the 10 reading strategies that will definitely help you in better comprehension. Thank you.
Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.